acknowledging awesome acts in OT. Everyday occupational therapists across Ontario are doing awesome things. They're delivering wonderful client-centered care, designing programs that are delivering amazing outcomes, developing cool new promotions or solutions, sharing impressive resources or knowledge, undertaking dynamic entrepreneurial business development, and all sorts of other inspiring activities that we think are just awesome. We think that's worth celebrating. The Ontario Society of Occupational Therapists is delighted to invite you to join us in celebrating the awesome accomplishments of OSOT member Carol MacDonald. We've been excited and impressed to learn of Carol's application of her OT perspective and expertise to a new business venture she has launched to address needs of Ontario's growing seniors population and their families. Carol is president and co-founder of MyPSW, an online model that provides an affordable alternative to traditional home care models that will allow families to locate and choose a trained personal support worker directly. The MyPSW model is about the direct relationship between the client and their family and the PSW, and supports client and family-focused care, choice and self-management, all core values of occupational therapy. It could be a game-changing model of community-based home support. We think that it's awesome that MyPSW is an OT-led venture, and it's our pleasure to introduce you to Carol MacDonald. Congratulations, Carol. We want to recognize your awesome act in OT. So please describe MyPSW for us.
Thanks, Seema. MyPSW is ostensibly Match.com plus PayPal applied to home care. So all of the personal support workers who use our site or who are eligible to use our site must have a certificate from an Ontario accredited college, a valid police check, and liability insurance. The underpinning of MyPSW is all about, as Seema said, consumer choice. So with consumer choice, it's more likely that you'll be more compatible with your personal support worker, and it's also based on proximity, local proximity. So we believe with these two underpinnings, compatibility and proximity, will come better consistency and reliability of your personal support worker.
Carol, that's fantastic. How were you inspired to create MyPSW?
MyPSW really comes from my beginnings as an occupational therapist, and also someone with a gerontology background as well. I think the driving principles for me were client-centered practice, self-directed care model, and a self-managed model. That's what MyPSW is. It was also inspired by two main issues. One, that only 30% of Canadians perceive they can afford private home care, and at a time where we need home care more than ever, we have little incentive for personal support workers to remain in the home care space. So I went out to personal support workers and I asked them, I conducted informal focus groups, and I asked them, why don't you consider working for yourself? And the two things that were consistent were, where would I get my referrals from? Which is the Match.com piece of our website. And the other piece was they didn't want to manage the administrative component of their business. So that is the PayPal piece, or the transactional based piece. So quite frankly, that was the inspiration for MyPSW.
Carol, in closing, could you provide some words of wisdom from you as an OT to all the OTs out there?
Senior care is the #1 priority of governments in Canada in the healthcare space. 1,000 Canadians reach 65 every single day. To me, this speaks to a big opportunity for OTs. It's up to OTs to demonstrate their value and return on investment when working in this space. My advice is to get to know local PSWs. You can use the MyPSW as a tool in your toolkit to align yourself and strategically align yourself with personal support workers in the community in which you're working. Use this introduction to highlight to the families and the consumers that you're working with what OTs can do to cost effectively help them keep their loved one at home longer and more safely. Hiring an OT can save a family time and money and give them peace of mind.
On behalf of OSOT, Carol, we thank you for your time and for sharing your inspiring story.